I'm on the intro.
There.
Right.
And then how do I say your last name? Pitre?
Pitre.
Pitre. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I don't want to butcher it like when we're live.
Just like you pee on a tree.
Oh, okay. Well, my maiden last name was Kreckelberg, so there you go. There's a mouthful.
Right.
All right. We are actually live right now.
Yeah.
All right.
We are live right now.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Spirit Hunters and our guest, Howard Waterboy Pitre and Beth on our panel. Would you guys like to introduce yourself?
I'm Casey. I'm actually the tech manager of the Minnesota Spirit Hunters.
And I'm Beth, and I'm from the Minnesota Spirit Hunters, and I'm a paranormal investigator.
And I'm Howard Pitre. I'm the guest, I guess, tonight or whatever. I am a founder, president of and lead on Paranormal Swamp Investigations. I'm also co-owner of Paralinks Network, and I'm also president, founder, and CEO of the Jessica Marie Pitre Foundation.
Can you tell us more about your foundation?
Sure. It's a foundation. It's named after my daughter, Jessica Marie Pitre. In October of 2019, she committed suicide in my home. She was in her second trimester of pregnancy. She was diagnosed, which we didn't know, that she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, PTSD, postpartum depression, schizophrenia, PTSD, because I didn't know about it. She was raped when she was younger, and I wouldn't be here right now if I would have found that out. I'd probably be in prison. She was also social anxieties, and she had manic depression. And of course, when a mother, when you first diagnose it, you first become pregnant, they take you off all your medications, and that's what happened to her. And they took her off for schizophrenia medication, and in about 2 weeks, she went completely in the opposite direction. She started hit with full-blown auditory hallucinations. She started seeing walls breathing, seeing people, and that wasn't there. She thought the government was coming to take her baby and everything else. And she only had like 9 more days to go. I try to get her help as much as I can. I went to medical and mental institutions both. And the medical, there was nothing wrong with her physically. She was fine. But the mental part, we was always told there was not enough beds. Later on, I found out in our state, in Louisiana, and I mean, I went all the way down from New Orleans all the way to Shreveport. I mean, the whole state, I covered everywhere just to try to get her in somewhere to get her help. And come to find out, what happens is you put a pregnant woman on the same floor with a mental patient that can do her harm, but you don't know it's going to do her harm, but it does do her harm, or that baby. It's a lawsuit. Right. So what they rather do is push you off. They push you off to the next place, and that's what happened with her. She got pretty much just, I guess, fell through the cracks. And like I said, when the last things I remember her telling me, matter of fact, I was leaving to go to the grocery store, and she walked out on our front patio, and she was yelling something. I couldn't hear because I live on a pretty good, nice sized piece of property, and I couldn't hear her. And then I said, "What?" And she said, "The baby's hungry," and she was just rubbing her belly. So I knew to pick her up her junk food, like ice cream, cookies, and her stuff that she loves to eat. And when I came home, I have my son, he's autistic. I said, "Go get Jessica." I got her stuff and everything. And he went into towards her room, and he looked towards the bathroom, and he came back out. He said, "Dad, I think Jessica's trying to hurt herself." And I walked in, and that's where I saw her. She hung herself. So I cut her down, performed CPR on her as long as I could, and until I got pulled off by 2 sheriff's deputies. And then they pronounced her. They said they just couldn't get anything. So instead of taking something and just being something tragic, it is tragic. I think of her every day. But instead of taking something negative, I made it into a positive thing. And I want to help as many pregnant women as possible that are suffering from mental illnesses. So our foundation, we cover everything from perinatal, prenatal, postpartum depression, and mental illnesses, period. And we take them from the date of conception to 2 years after childbirth. And the reason being that after 2 years afterwards, because of postpartum depression. And right there, I mean, I did a lot of research, and postpartum depression is the #1 killer in women today, which I did not know. I mean, it was a shock. From me doing just researching and talking with people and other mental health professionals and everything. I hate to say this, and I do mean it when I say it, that women, y'all went through women's suffrage, okay, and y'all had the right to vote and then the equal rights and everything. And to this very day, women do not have equal rights. I've seen that full blown up close and personal. And I'm a man, and I mean I'm looking at this from the outside in, and it's shameful. It's shameful the way women are treated in this country today. So I started this foundation, and like I said, we're trying to help as many. And the reason being, I don't want to see no other family, no other father, no other mother, no other brother or sister, grandparents, or whatever, to see that they wouldn't go through the things that I've been through. And I don't want them to go through that. So that's why I started this foundation.
Well, thank you for sharing that story with us. It's a very, very touching story, especially for me. I have a clinical psych degree. My friend hung herself, but I'm also a mother who has mental illness as well. So on all fronts, I really appreciate your foundation. I'm sorry that you really had to go through that. What else do you do?
Oh God, man. I do a lot. Here lately, not much. I'm going through some physical ailments right now, and trying to get through this part. But I am a co-owner of Paralinks Network. We have about 85 shows that we put out there. We work with Parapost Central, and we're partnered up a little bit. We help them, they help us, and stuff like that. So we work with them. I'm also that's on the paranormal side. I am of course a paranormal investigator. I'm a pastor. I'm an ordained minister, and I'm also a demonologist. Been doing that for quite some time. Matter of fact, the guy I talk to, if I run into any kind of problems, and especially in the demonology department, is I have him on my speed dial. Is Carl Johnson.
I know who he is.
He's one of the best. He's well known. He's been in the field of God. It's like almost 50 years now. He was the first one that was in the Conjuring House, and he still goes there and takes care of business there. So that's my mentor. So that's who I look to for help, any type of help or anything like that. As for me on what I do outside of just the paranormal, I'm a member of NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness. I'm also a member of suicide prevention. I'm also a member of suicide prevention. Postpartum Support International. SOS. I'm a member of SOS, which is Survivors of Suicide. And I go to meetings and all that for that. Let's see. I'm a 3rd degree Knight of Knights of Columbus, which I'm thinking about I'm thinking about giving that up. I'm stretched. I'm stretched all over the place. Then I just recently got married. So, and if you ever seen any of my shows, you'll hear me yell for my wife, and it's funny the way I do it. I mean, people always like, we got to make shirts like that. We got to make shirts. And I mean, I could do it right now, and she's in the next room. Jackie! Jackie! Jack, where the hell? Hey! Come sit. You're not dressed. Put some drawers on. And she has her own show. It's on Sundays. It's she's getting ready to start it back up. It's called Hey Boo, and it's a panel of women, and they talk about the paranormal. You want to say hello? This is my wife.
Congratulations. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, she don't cook. She don't. I do all the cooking, so she doesn't cook at all. She burns water. I've never seen that before, but she burned water. And she's wanting to know what we have. So I was on this past for 3 days in a row. I've been on shows. I've been on shows as a guest, and getting up at 9. I get off a show about 9 o'clock, and then I got to go cook a meatloaf because she's craving meatloaf. I mean, come on, really? This woman here is driving me crazy. But she ain't in the right mind. She ain't in the right mind. She married me, so I mean. But yeah, I do have that. And I have since I'm also co-owner, like I said, Paralinks Network, but I also have 3 shows for myself. They Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I'm getting ready to start those back up, which is Paranormal Swamp Talk, and we talk about everything. And it's pretty a legit show. We have guests and stuff like that. We talk about things that are local. We try to get a lot of local things, especially here in Louisiana. We live in one of the most haunted states, I believe, in the country. And probably near one of the most haunted cities in the world is New Orleans. And I mean, I just live about 30 minutes away from New Orleans. So then downtown.
You're on my bucket list. You're on my bucket list. So.
Well, we had this past year, we just had Fear Fest. September we just had Fear Fest, and I had some churches come after me. Good God, I had some churches come after me when I was the kind of stuff they thought I was Lucifer Morningstar. I was going to rise up the devil, and all kinds of stuff. I had it was I mean, for the talent that we had there, God, I have. Matter of fact, I got photos and stuff. Let's see. Oh, this is from Matt Barron. See, I'm known as the Water Boy, and it's because of aquatic entities, demonologist, which is a toilet demon. Okay, so it's like some stuff. They give me autographed rolls of toilet paper and stuff like that. Nice. So, I got stuff like that up here. Let's see. You might know some of these people I got up here. Let's see. Let's see. Joseph Palaquin. I don't know if you know Joseph. Are you familiar with any movies that are recent that just came out? Five Nights at Freddy.
Oh yes,
I have.
And that's Joseph right here. He was there.
Oh, nice.
And that's from the matter of fact, he even autographed it, the little cupcake dude from Five Nights at Freddy. Nice. And then he drew this for me, which is cool. And while he was there at Fear Fest, he drew this.
Oh wow!
And I mean, it's
pretty awesome.
And he autographed it for me and everything. And he's got all kinds, the Iron Giant, all kinds of stuff in there. So I had them there. Had him there. I had another friend of mine. He was Herbert Hebert. Well, I call him Hebert, but it's Herbert Cavalier. He was been on a show on the Animal Planet channel called Swamped, and he was on American Horror Story. What was the name of that one? Freak Show.
Oh,
so he was there.
That,
Let's see. I had maybe you know these people. You ever watched The Walking Dead?
No.
Are you fans of The Walking Dead?
I'm friends with some of their lookalikes on TikTok, so yeah.
Okay. So you haven't seen seasons 4 and 5?
No.
No.
No, not yet.
They had the twins on there.
I haven't seen any of them on.
Okay, but they had a set of twins on there. They were crazy. One twin killed the other twin, and it was messed up. Well, anyway, this is them. They were there from AMC or whatever, and that's the mother, and those are the twin girls. Then they grown up now, and that's all autographed. Yeah. See, to Howard and all that stuff. And then besides that movie, they also played in the Hunger Games.
Oh, nice.
And this is them in the Hunger Games.
Oh, wow.
Recognize them, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So they were there. She was there, the twins were there at Fear Fest. I had what's his name? Oh, I can't think of it. Oh, you ever seen Hellraiser?
No, I believe one, the first movie.
I had Paul there he was Pinhead. I had Pinhead there at Fear Fest. I had John Azuna there. John played in he played in Ant-Man and Wasp. He played in the Matrix series. Yeah. And he played in another one. I can't think of which one it is. He played in a bunch of I just didn't get any. I'm gonna have to tell him to send me some stuff. Mm-hmm. But he was there. He's also a 2-time Guinness Book of World Record holder. He's a martial arts expert. He's the fastest punches in the world thrown, and most punches making contact in under a minute.
Wow.
So yeah, he's a complete badass. What's his name? I had another guy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he played in Happy Death Day 1, Happy Death Day 2, and Fear the Walking Dead. He was there. I had quite a few celebrities there. So as for and it was all meet and greet. You could have just walked up to them, got an autograph, whatever, and they were happy with take photos with you and everything. Just some of the craziness that went on with that. Then we had a bunch of paranormal teams come in that wanted just to see what was going on and see what it was about. It was a nice thing to do, as in for people to actually make contacts down here. If you ever wanted to come back down here and you was able to actually meet someone and they could take you a tour of the city. Matter of fact, we did a global ghost hunt, and I was with Matt Barron, and we did Voodoo Authentica in the French Quarter, and it's a real voodoo shop, and it's ran by real voodoo priests and priestesses. And matter of fact, I have a friend of mine. His name is Papa Czar, and he's a voodoo priest, but he's also a vampire, because New Orleans is known for his vampirism. So he's a friend of mine, and he's my voodoo advisor. He's my counsel. If I had anything I need with voodoo, he's the man I talk to. So I had him. He was here. God, it was just so many. Oh, we had a guy, Tony Burns, and if you ever seen Marilyn Manson, this guy is the spitting image of Marilyn Manson. He performed, acted, everything just like Marilyn Manson. So I mean, him and his band. I mean, even the bass. If you ever seen the Marilyn Manson videos or whatever, the bass player, he walks around in a dress, and then this guy was walking around playing the guitar in a dress and everything. I mean, it's like, wow. I even got pictures of him lifting his dress for me. Now it's like pointing at his butt and stuff like that.
But, what are some sites, like if we go to Louisiana, we should look at and go visit that are haunted?
When you cross into the state,
like everything in the state. I want to go to a graveyard. Do you have a favorite graveyard?
We did that. I took some people in a graveyard trip. Matter of fact, one particular grave site I go to a lot is have you ever seen the movie Dead Man Walking? with Sean Penn and what's her name, Susan Sarandon. Well, that was about the murder of Faith Hathaway, and that happened here in Mandeville. And the guy who did it, the movie with Sean Penn was playing it. That's one of the Willie boys that lives in the next town over, which is about maybe 10 minutes away. And yeah, and I go to her gravesite all the time and talk to her. But there's not a rock you can't kick, or a stone that doesn't have a story behind it. Everything's pretty much haunted. I took a little mini tour with some people and showed them some different things, like Marie Laveau's house. I showed them Little Laurie Mansion, Jean Lafitte blacksmith shop. God, we went to Sultan's Palace, the Ursuline Convent, all these places, Pirates Alley, all these places are well-known haunted. The only one you won't be able to get into, really, it would be probably the Ursuline Convent, and you could probably get in there if you know the right people. But Laurie Mansion, that is hard as hell to get in there. So, Roads High, that's got to be freaking Stephen Woodard. Oh, you crazy bastard. Oh, shit.
So, what's one of your favorite investigations you've been on?
Oh, they all my favorite. They all my favorite. They all unique. They all different. So, I mean, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to be going on another investigation soon. Guys having some stuff that's happening that's kind of demonic in his house. So I'm going to go look and see what it is. Another town that's not New Orleans, but it's well known as Bogalusa, Louisiana. And it's because of a sawmill. It's been around since about the 1800s, and they had all kinds of stuff that happened at this place. I mean, just in the town itself. One of them was actually they wanted to make the town, the sawmill. They wanted to go union, and what the people did in the town. You know, the sawmill said no, and they were sending people to different houses, killing whole families. It was a big to do. Not about maybe about 50 miles, not even 50 miles away from me is actually where the Trail of Tears was actually came through. So we had that through here. Just in my area alone, we had the War of Independence that was fought. You would think it was just be up there, the 13 colonies, British and Americans, and it wasn't. And actually, the British circled around underneath, and this was all Spanish owned. And what they were trying to do is come up north. Alabama, man, this because I'm an LSU fan, and that's how. But anyway, yeah, we got a freaking Heisman Trophy winner coming, baby. That's all I got to say. But
yeah, it's kind of like their thing with the Packers and my thing with the Vikings. You know,
the Vikings. You like the Vikings?
Yeah,
Sorry.
she does.
well, they're from Wisconsin. I'm from Minnesota. That's everywhere I go.
I'm sorry. Our team's not doing bad. I mean, it's doing bad. I mean, Saints look like total shit this year. I watched them, and Jackie's, she's a freaking Saints nut. And God, that woman there goes nuts when she watches. I don't even want to be in the same house with her when she's watching football.
So, is there anywhere you'd like to, excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off. Is there anywhere you'd like to investigate before?
Is there anywhere where?
You would like to investigate before you get out of the business? Like, what's your bucket list?
What's my bucket list? When I get out of the business, it's probably when I'll be investigating myself. Because I got too much invested in this. I do. I mean, I want to get out. Stephen, he gotten out of it. Matter of fact, he handed myself and Chrissy Morales the reins to Paralinks, and he's completely, he's retired, but we still love him, and stuff like that. I call Stephen just for advice, see what I can do with something comes up or whatever, and he's always there for us. What I'd love to do, I want to do soon, is I actually want to go visit my family. I call them family. Is Ernie and Denise Pac-Man Paranormal. They got a new place out there in Fort Duffield, and I really want to go visit with them. They live in a really haunted house too. I mean, the stuff that's happening with them. I live in a haunted house. So, I mean, it's all good for me. I mean, it's all good. Just like I'm sitting here right now talking to y'all. I was doing a show, and over my left shoulder, right over here by the fireplace, I had a freaking full-blown apparition just form up. I didn't know what was going on. People were telling me, there's something behind you. Something, pulling my legs. But, yeah, they had a full-blown apparition, and it started off like a mist-looking thing, and it just grew, and then you can actually see its face at one point, and its eyes were blinking. You can see its eyes. I mean, you can see it, and it was an African-American male. Because in this area, like I said, we had the War of Independence fought through here. We also had the Civil War that was fought through here. No telling how many wagon trains and stuff like that. Trail of Tears was less than 50 miles from here. And then what I guess puts the icing on the cake would be that this is all Indian burial ground. So, I mean, it's from the Lacombe Indians. So there's mounds. I can go out into the woods, and there's swamps and woods, and there's nothing but freaking mounds out there and stuff like that. And it freaks me out, but they're always building back in. They're always disturbing these things. So, but yeah, I mean, as for myself, when my daughter, committing suicide, Bama just beat Georgia in the SEC championship. Yeah, shut up. He's gonna rub this shit in. Little towel. Yeah. Toilet paper maybe. But just in my house alone, I mean, with my daughter I've seen my daughter in my home about 4 times.
Wow.
And it's like me looking at you right now, standing in the hallway. The first one, I mean, it was like it blew my mind. I knew she was here because, I mean, as a paranormal investigator and your house being haunted, you never investigate your own home.
Right.
People could say that you're lying, you're just falsifying evidence. It's just too many things that, that people can just say it didn't happen. So I brought in 3 other teams. One was actually a team from Alabama. Then I had another team that was local, and then I had another team that came up from North Louisiana. And all 3 teams came in, and they said, man, this place is so freaking active. It's unbelievable. They wanted to come back and do more. And I said, no, that's it. As long I know it's haunted. And I just want to make sure I had verification that y'all seen it with you. And I show their evidence. I don't show my evidence. I show their evidence of what they captured. The stuff I've captured would shock you. But it's their evidence. One of them actually caught a portal in my front yard. They had so many orbs, it looked like it was raining Skittles in my yard at one point. You could see energy waves. I mean, just serious energy waves through the house. And then they did a ITC session. And when you have a child, when they're telling you certain phrases, when they're trying to get out of trouble or things to that nature. And when they did the ITC session, and everybody knew the story, what happened here, and my daughter and everything. And this this entity came across the box, and it was full sentences, which was shocker. The first thing they said, this entity said was, "Hey, Dad," and I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Oh," and you had a few other voices come in and stuff like that, and you heard, "I'm taking care of the baby," and that's okay. And I just blew it off, because anybody can. No, it's not. I guess being, I didn't want to believe it.
Right.
And you heard some other voices coming in, and I got to the point where these other voices, I said, if this is Jessica, you tell them to get the hell out of your way. This is your house. And she came across and she said this phrase, and my heart dropped into my stomach. And it was, "Oh, I forgot." And that's when Jessica, my daughter, would tell me when she would get in trouble. I would say, "Didn't I tell you? Oh, I forgot." And that was her number one thing she would always tell me. So that's what she did. And I heard that, and I was just like, and during this time, they had these huge orbs that were floating around, all around us. We were getting cold spots, the whole 9 yards in this place. And they try to cleanse the place. I've had, and it's not just her. There's a couple of other people that are here, and one is not so nice. I think it's something that's very evil. I can't say it's demonic, but I know it's evil. And that's this thing here. I don't know what it is. We got a picture of it. One of the teams captured it, and it was standing on the top of my house. And you can see right above it is an orb, this big, big, bright orb. And underneath it, you could see a face underneath the orb. And it had like 3 horns going backwards, one on each side, one in the middle. And you could see somewhat of its body. And then you could see a leg come forward. And at the bottom of the leg, it was a hoof on this thing. And then they had a disembodied hand on my rail on my porch. So you had that. I mean, there was just so many things that was captured here. We've like a music box. We continuously hear a music box playing. We don't own a music box. I mean, there's not one in this house, but it's one plays, and it plays this song. I don't know why it plays the same song over and over again, but it's a modern song actually, and it's that song "Senorita." I forgot the name. How it goes. It's something. Da, da, that's.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. My daughter loves that song. But by Sean. Was it Shawn Menendez?
I don't know, but it plays in this house. I have that. I've walked into my kitchen out of my bedroom, and I walked into the hallway into the kitchen, and my kitchen table, the chair at the head of the table, would just pull out right in front of you, and I just go back and push it back in. I mean, I've gotten so used to seeing all this stuff. My wife, she's chicken shit. She'll go in my daughter. She'll go in my daughter's room. Stays cold. It's always cold. It could be in the middle of summer. I could turn off the air conditioning. In this last heat wave we had 120, 130 degree weather here, and it was. You walk in the house and it was like it's like you're still hot. You walk in her room, it's like 60 degrees.
Wow.
So I mean, it just stays cold in her room. Like I said, there's so many things here that it just blows your mind in this place. We've had things break all the time. Brand new air conditioning, central air and heat we put in 1 year, and it just component fried on it. And the guy came out, he says, "I've never seen this before." And I said, "Well, here you go." He pulled out the part. "These don't go out." And he said, "Well, it went out, huh?" I said, "Yep." He said, "Can I keep it?" I said, "Yeah, you can have it. I don't care. It's yours. Take it with you." And my parents live about 150 yards away from us. And then I have my one brother lives next door to me, and he's got a couple of acres, and then my brother lives behind me. on the next street over, and it's like a little compound type thing. We all bought property in the same area, and my daughter and my son used to walk over to their grandparents' house, and we bought a brand new car, and the battery was dead in it. The next day, pulled it in the yard, the battery was gone, and then my mother's car was her battery was drained in her car, and my brother pulled his car over there for about 15 minutes, and it was almost gone. It drained it.
Wow.
So we figured she's walking back and forth, drawing off that energy, just to go, crossing the street and stuff like that. So we that's happened here. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that happens in my yard and my property. So yeah, so if anything's haunted, yeah, everything's haunted. There's nothing not haunted.
Right. So what's your favorite equipment that you like using the most?
My most favorite piece of equipment?
Yeah.
I love the mail reader.
Oh.
I love using it, and we do photography. We have cameras for everything. Infrared, we have all that stuff. I mean, you name it, we just about got it. But yeah, I think that's my most favorite piece of equipment. I think it's accurate for what I need, for what I do.
Right. Yeah. I have a millimeter REM pod combo. So
Yeah.
I like that. It's very nice tool.
Yeah.
It seems to work better for me than the regular REM pod.
Yeah.
So.
If you notice, I'm always looking over my shoulder. Especially, I'll start looking this way. I can't now because we got our Christmas tree up now. It's a monstrosity. And it's right next to my desk. Why? I have no idea.
My house is too small for one.
A Christmas tree?
Yeah, my apartment's too small.
Get you one of them Charlie Brown trees. Hell, you can always get a Christmas tree. Go out in the woods.
Do you have a favorite piece of equipment you like to use?
He just asked me. He just asked me that.
Sorry, I got a little distracted.
Mail reader.
Okay. Sorry, I got a little distraction. I got kids. So is there anywhere you'd like to go? What would be your dream place to go?
I answered this last night, and I mean I can go. Now I was telling you about my shows. And Marcus, I seen him in here. I don't know if he's still here, but I have the Paranormal Swamp talk page. I have what they call my Thursday night show is called the Petri Dish, and it's named after either the Petri dish, Petri, and we dish it out, or it could be you grow bacteria on me. I don't care. That's a rated R. It's more relaxed show. I have my Petri's Para Rant on that for 30 minutes. We let people just rant about anything and everything on that show. There's a lot of foul language, and not so much, but it's foul language and stuff on that show. And then my Friday night show is at 9:30, and that's called the Unholy Trinity. And you would think it would be something like I don't know. You would think it'd be like something religious, or because it's Unholy Trinity or something. No, it's not. That show that gets us in trouble every freaking time. And I push the limits of Facebook. I'll tell you that right now. I push the limits to it. I've had women come on there do vagina molds. I've had women come in there showing their breasts. We talk about anything and everything. Some typical questions that we ask the hard-hitting questions on those shows. On that show, it's like if you had, for example, Bigfoot. What would be a question you would ask about Bigfoot?
That I won't know.
How tall is he?
Yeah, that's a good question. Nobody actually knows it. No, we asked those hard-hitting questions like, does Mrs. Bigfoot, when she's menstruating, does she use a cottonwood tree as a tampon?
Jesus.
That sounds interesting. I mean, I wouldn't want to smell one, that's for sure. I mean, smell a Bigfoot coming at me. Definitely wouldn't want to know anything about that. So is there one thing that you would maybe not want to go see? Or is there a place we should avoid if we go to Louisiana?
Oh, I would advise you to do everything in Louisiana. I mean, just when you come here, just have your bail. Just call my number and I won't answer. And no, there's nothing. Everything here. I mean, it's a great area. I mean, there's a lot. It's not called. I mean, it's called Sportsman's Paradise for one. So I mean, you could fish, hunt, do everything you want here. As for investigations, I mean, like I said, there's nothing that's not haunted. There's too much history here. You figure the Chicago. Everybody talks about the Chicago, the Great Fire of Chicago, and that's once. We burned down twice. You don't hear us bragging about it. You know. But matter of fact, we had Emmy McKenzie from Oregon. She came down. One of Scott Wilson came. It was a bunch of people that came in, but Emmy came down and she was just taking pictures of the sunsets here. We have amazing sunsets here. She said, "Wow, they're so gorgeous. It's so beautiful here. It's just a beautiful state. It could be deadly, but I mean, it is a beautiful state. I would advise you our cemeteries. You said you like the cemeteries. I've had Jenny Sullivan show Jenny a bunch of pictures of our cemeteries here, and we have what they call St. Patrick's Cemetery 1 and St. Patrick's Cemetery number 2. And she swore to be damned those were in Ireland. That's how ethnic these places are. There's places where you can go to that. Of course, you had this segregated cemeteries, and they're still there. And I mean, it's now, you know, it doesn't matter. Everybody's buried with everybody, but these cemeteries are all finished. I mean, these are finished. You can't put nobody else in there. And these are segregated cemeteries and stuff. So, I mean, you have those, God, there's just so many places you can go and see. You walk through the French Quarter. Once you get off that plane and you get into the city, you can actually feel the thickness. A lot of people told me this. You can feel the thickness of the city from the spirit activity that's here. I mean, hell, we still have from Hurricane Katrina, all the people that died from Hurricane Katrina that happened here. Hell, my wife, she has a lot of anxieties. Back in the 70s, 70s or 80s, I think it was the 80s, 82 something. Anyway, they had from New Orleans International. There was a plane that went down through a whole neighborhood. It just fell out. I mean, it was wind shear. They didn't know about wind shear back then, and it skipped right over her house. It just went right over her house, took the top of her tree out. She lost so many friends that day. And there was only one survivor through that whole ordeal, and it was a little baby girl. Matter of fact, she's still alive. But that was the only survivor off that plane. But it went through and it killed like 1,000 people or something like that in that whole neighborhood, plus the people on the plane. So I mean, there's, like I said, there's a lot of history here. There's a lot of death here. So, and matter of fact, when you're walking down the streets of Bourbon, the streets of New Orleans, they're always repairing streets here. I mean, if you drive straight in New Orleans, then you're drunk. I'm gonna tell you that now. You dodging potholes every freaking 5 minutes around here. But they dig up streets and stuff, and they run across cemeteries and bodies and stuff like that that's been buried. And I mean, it's buried on, you're buried on top of cemeteries. On top, it just keeps going that way. So I mean, that's another thing that happens here. The Ursuline Cemetery. I mean, Ursuline Convent. It was actually a place for where pregnant women would go. And back then, a woman got pregnant and she wasn't married. That was some shit. So you sent your daughter off, or a woman would go off into this convent and have that child. And these nuns would deliver it, help you deliver this baby. But a lot of them, these babies didn't make it. You know, they didn't want people to know about it. And after Katrina, they had these wrought iron fences that were all the way around it. Now it's a cinder block. It's actually a cinder block fence now, but it was wrought iron gates and fences. The Spanish metal work and stuff was gorgeous, but it was destroyed. But when they were digging all that fencing up, they uncovered 200 or 300 bodies of babies from there. So, I mean, they wound up. Is that where you also try to help Howard Pitre? I don't know. That's Joanne. She got a smart mouth, her. But I love her.
You guys sound like a lot of fun down there.
Oh, it is. It is.
So
on the way of moms, yeah.
Is there a way that people can donate to your foundation?
Yes, you can go to my Facebook page, our Facebook page, the Jessica Marie Pitre Foundation, and there's a donate button on there. And you just donate, and it goes. I don't see none of this. It goes straight to its own checking, its own. Matter of fact, that's the way I wanted to keep it. Where this is a business. This is a business where we're helping women, and I wanted to keep it separate from my personal life, and my own bank and all that stuff. I got my own banking, and the foundation's a different bank. It's all handled that way. We have a 501c3 nonprofit license. We're registered with the state. We're registered with the IRS. We're as legit as you could possibly get. You know, so we're just like the American Red Cross. You know, it's like, but we're starting off, and we're young, and we started this off in 2020, right during the height of COVID. So yeah, that we was already batting 1,000, and that's what I was talking about, the fundraising. Yeah, well, that's what I'm not doing a lot of fundraising right now. We just had the Fear Fest, and that was all for fundraising for that. But we were, matter of fact, I think last Tuesday was Giving Tuesday, and donations. I'm gonna tell you that's why we did Fear Fest. One of the reasons is donations aren't what they were back a few years ago. It's just nothing. People are not donating, and I understand. I mean, money's tight, and it's hard to give to something, and you really have to have someone who's really passionate about a organization or a nonprofit that would donate to you, and that's what we're doing. I mean, we have to do drives and stuff. You have to give the people something in order for them to donate, and so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do something. We're already in the stages of planning for next year's Fear Fest, and we got some major hitters coming in. Besides what I paranormal investigating and all these organizations, I'm also an actor.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I played in quite a few movies, television shows, and commercials. I'm just like, I guess what's his name, Brian Laverty. He's an actor as well. He owns his own network of Parapost and all that.
Yeah, I think I'm friends with both you both on Facebook.
And I've been. I've worked with some famous people, and I know a lot of famous. One famous person actually contacted me. This was like 3 months after Jessica had passed away, and I was shocked. I cursed the man out. I thought he was a joke. I thought he was trying to joke with me. I thought he was just somebody playing a cruel practical joke. That's the way I looked at it. And I cursed the man out. And I said, this is 3 months after my daughter's gone, and you doing this, and there was some language. And then I hung up on him, and then his manager called, same, area code. It was out of the Los Angeles area, and cursed him out too. And at this time I was on a GNO. I just left the cemetery from where I was visiting my daughter, and he says, "Can I send you something?" I was in traffic, and it was the wrong time of the day to try to get back home. I was just sitting in traffic. I said, "Yeah, you can send it." And sure in the hell it was him. And I was like, "Oh my God, I just cursed this man out." And I said, "Shit." So he called me back, and I have his cell phone number and everything. He's a good guy. He's passionate. He loves the city of New Orleans. He's not from here, but he calls New Orleans home. And you would never guess who that was.
Who would that be?
Brad Pitt.
Really?
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool. Well, we got like 10 minutes left here before we're wrapping up. Well, we're wrapping up now. We got 10 minutes left. Is there anything you want to leave us with? Anything more you'd like to talk about the foundation or?
No. I think we covered it all. I appreciate y'all having me on here tonight and everything. And I try to control myself. I didn't say too many penises or vaginas or anything like that. So that was good. So that's always a good thing. So yeah, I try to keep this PG. PG-13. Let's go that route. Yeah, we went PG-13 with y'all tonight. But usually my shows, I'm running rated R or no on up. I mean, it's bad. I mean, Joanne can tell you. I mean, that good shit. Some of the stuff. Oh Lord. But yeah,
I get. Trust me, I fully get you, and they understand what I'm talking about. They see me on investigations. They fully get you.
I'm not commenting on that one either. Nope.
I was going to ask you, how many people are on your team?
We have about 7.
You have 7?
Mm-hmm. We're always looking for new people. I say a team of 1. I mean, that's Anthony right there. The Wraith Lord, Wraith God, the Wraith King, whatever you want to call him. I don't know if y'all know Anthony. Anthony he's a trip. I'm his dad. I am. I'm teaching him things. I'm teaching him to be just like me. But he's got the Wraith Hunters out there, Arizona, I think it is Arizona, Texas, Arizona, somewhere. I know he was in Arizona. He just moved. I don't know exactly. Papa. So I have my own little people that follow me when I do lives and stuff like that. As soon as they smell blood in the water, they come find me. So I mean, I didn't even promote this. I didn't. I was waiting to see let y'all promote it through your pages and stuff like that. But yeah, they smell blood in the water evidently. So it's like wow. But yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever had a spirit talk to you?
Have I ever had a spirit talk to me through a voice box or a spirit box or just with my bare hearing ears, just hearing it?
Probably through like a spirit box.
Oh yeah. I get that all the time. Yeah, it's not. Hey, goat. Yeah, I get that all the time. I do. Yeah, every time I'm on an investigation, spirit box, I'm always having somebody come in. Wow. I'll tell you who's really a good one. Raymond Newsom. I think it's Raymond. Raymond's really great with the spirit box. That's who somebody you want to talk about. Someone who does spirit box work. That is the guy you want to talk to. Let's see if I can pull his name up. Yeah, Raymond. Not Newsom.
Break the duck. That was good.
That's actually my nickname. That's my nickname now, Howard the Duck.
Oh.
Nice. But they used to call me Cujo because I was one sick puppy. God, no, the water boy. God, I go by so many. Just don't call me late for dinner. That's all I was saying. I got to eat. I love to eat. But that's another thing. When y'all come to New Orleans or the city of Louisiana, food, eat. Oh my God, y'all love the food here. It ain't that shit where you just like they call it gumbo and they pour hot water through a chicken. No, that's not gumbo, people. And you don't put hot dog weenies in your freaking gumbo either. I'm telling you, that's a more. I'd have to come away your hot and slap you. I mean, you're gonna call that gumbo? No. You got to have some andouille sausage or something in that shit. You got to have it. But yeah, I mean that we have a matter of fact, been asked, well, Jackie, I mean, when I cooked, I baked a 24-pound turkey to Thanksgiving now. 24-pound turkey. I fried a 16-pound turkey. I made oyster dressing. I made regular dressing. I made broccoli and cheese. I made crab meat au gratin. I made, what else I made? Green bean carrot, just traditional stuff. Her name is Howard. Her name is Heard. Fucking petting duck. If that's Steven, you should see his chickens. They look like penises. From the neck up, it looks like a big penis. These chickens are weird looking chickens. I've never seen these things before. But,
we got about 5 minutes left here. Is there anything you want to ask, Casey?
Have you ever been to Myrtle's Plantation?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Have you ever been to Myrtle's Plantation?
Myrtle's Plantation, yes, I have. I took my wife on her birthday a couple of years ago, and she left me in the fucking woods. I'm sorry, she left me in the woods by myself. She did. They were the Myrtles. We stayed in the house. We stayed, I think it was 2 days. But to do the investigation, they ring this bell, this big school bell, and they do, tours of the place. So you really can't investigate until about 10 o'clock at night. So you finally start doing some investigation around midnight. But then there's a freaking restaurant in the courtyard, so you have all that noise, and it's a lot of interference. It's you can't get really good evidence. So I took the wife, then we went with another team, and I took the wife, and I said, let's go in this. The property itself is haunted as well, and we went to this big field, and it looked like a bunch of fireflies that were coming through. It started off real like 1, 2, 1, 2, and then all of a sudden it's just got more intense, and this shadow or figure come walking out, and it had a large hat, looked like, and it was carrying something with both hands like this, and it was just walking out, and it walked to the left, and then another one came out not even a second later, and it had a smaller hat, and you could see the hats, and it walked one went to the left, one went to the right, and it was just me, my wife. She had a K2 meter and a flashlight. I had my mail reader. I had my a camera, and I had my headlamp, head torch. And I turned, and as soon as I seen that, and I turned to look at her, because I could feel it. She was right here on my shoulder. I mean, I could feel her breath on my neck, and that's how close she was. And as soon as that came out, I turned. I said, "Jackie, did you see that?" But I turned around. That asshole left me in the woods. She was about 500 yards out of the woods already. She was standing by the cabins and left me out there by myself in the freaking darkness, which is this headlantern. And I was like, really? So that was bullshit. But there was a lot of evidence we caught in there. I felt we was in the doll's room, and where the kids live, where the little girls were staying in. I was in there, actually the closet, and this closet's huge. And there's a little bench in there where they would get dressed on. They would sit down and put their dresses on and everything. And it was total black. I mean, you couldn't do this and see your hand. And there was a bulb, but we had infrared cameras in there, and they were filming me talking, trying to get something going. And you could see all these orbs floating around me. And there was one huge orb, and I just felt something. And I said, "Did you get that? Did you get that?" And I was one of our team members, Gabriel. He pulled me outside. He says, "You want to see I want to see what that part is." And he pulled me out, and you see this huge orb, and it touches me on the arm, and it bounces off. Well, when I said that, I didn't see no orbs and nothing. I couldn't see any. I was just black. What I felt was 3 little fingers touch me on my arm. So I believe it was one of the little girls that were trying to communicate with me.
Well, thank you very, very much for being with the Minnesota Spirit Hunters here.
Thank you.
Water Boy. Pitre. I said it right finally. Tell us again about where we can donate for your daughter's foundation.
Yes, that's going to be the Jessica Marie Pitre Foundation on Facebook. And you can go there and there's a feedback. You can go there and donate on that page.
All right. Any last thing you'd like to add? Any last drops? How can we find you on Facebook?
Sure. You can go to Paralinks Network. You can find us on Paralinks 1, 2, 3. We have Paralinks Live. We have about 4 or 5 channels. So you can catch us on any of those channels.
All right. Well, thank you again for being with us. It was really nice chatting with you, and I hope to actually see you one day down there. Thank you.
Yeah, come on down. Come on down. Call me up, and we'll do something.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.